Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a Conan Exiles video guide. Today we're going to be showing you every best one-handed sword in Conan Exiles in 2019. Conan Exiles has just had the underwater dungeon, added a bunch of new weapons to the game as well as armor pieces too, and I want to see right now, current state of Conan, what are the best weapons. So no mucking around, I'm going to show you exactly where to get them, how to get them. These are my top Conan Exiles one-handed swords. When comparing these swords, I looked at how much damage they do and any special abilities they might have, as well as armor piercing. We're kicking off with the flawless Stygian Khopesh. Not an easy one to get hold of, but once you get a tier 4 blacksmith rule, the Khopesh has got much more armor penetration than just your average sword. That's why I like it. It's a good mix of penetration as well as damage. Also, you can craft these up anytime you want once you've got the blacksmith, and it's relatively cheap, only consisting of some iron bars and branches. If you get hold of a flawless one, you're going to do a lot more damage with it. Number 4 is the Bloodstone sword. This sword can be located in the Volcano from a particular thrall, the Emissary of Tsuga. This sword does 51 damage as well as having an armor penetration of 11%. It's got a durability of 1300, so a bit less than some of the legendary swords that you're used to seeing, but it is a fantastic sword. Now I actually got really lucky finding the Emissary. He doesn't always spawn in this location. I'm going to show you exactly, but there is a quicker and easier way to get to him. I'm going to show you the entry point to the Volcano, which is best. On this occasion I found him at 13F, right in the middle of this grid. It is near the pens if you're coming from the other direction, more the central or eastern direction of the Volcano. However, if you go through the entrance point on the west, you pretty much always come out at this point, so you should be able to keep going back and forth hoping one of them will spawn, or killing who is ever there and then coming back out and back in to see if another one spawns. Head over to 14E and you'll come to the entrance, which will take you right to him. This sword does do cripple effect as well, so it's well worth having. Great addition to the one-handed swords, and number 4 in my list. Jump into the flow entrance and you should be able to find him, not too much trouble. Sadly, if there is another NPC there, you won't necessarily get the Bloodstone sword. It will be something different. If you're lucky at all, you might not even get a weapon. So kill him, repeat, go outside the entrance, exit way and come back in, and hopefully he will spawn eventually. Number 3 is Telyf's Lament. Now this one is a bit of an unusual one. Telyf's Lament is part of the King Scourge weapons that you unlock by going to the Black Keep. 11F, roughly around there, that's around the entranceway. I have done a guide on clearing this dungeon before with my rat bags. Go and check it out for full details. But basically, defeat the big Black Keep boss, and then you'll be able to go ahead and find the tablets needed to learn the King Scourge weapons. Now it has to be said, you don't have to defeat him, you can just run in here, run past him, but if you're looking for XP, he's going to give you lots of XP, and you've got the chance of getting the King Scourge heart, which you are going to need to craft it. And this is why it's a more complicated sword. I was going to put this as number 5 as the best swords, even though it does more health damage overall than the previous swords I've mentioned. Because of how hard it is to get, I was going to do that. But ultimately, regardless of how hard or easy it is to get hold of, it does do more damage than the previous 2 swords I mentioned, and it's got a fairly good armor penetration too. You do need to know star metal tools before going to learn the recipe as well though, so you can't just suddenly run up there thinking you're going to get lucky or run past. And as I said, you do need the King Scourge heart if you want to craft one. After that though, you just need black ice and hardened steel to keep repairing it. There are 2 versions of this sword. One is a one-handed sword and the other is a two-handed sword. Telyf's Sorrow, the two-handed sword, does 67 damage. It is a beast, but obviously this video is supposedly meant to be one-handed swords only. I will be covering two-handed swords as well as a bunch of all the other weapons. You are going to be in for a shock with some of them. They are going to be changing up since the latest update. Number 2 is the Black Ice Broadsword. This is crafted only at the Temple of Frost, all the way up in the deep north. Head to 14D/E on the border and you'll see the temple entrance, and then just keep following it all the way through. You're going to be needing level 60 to craft this, and it is absolutely OP. Just look how much damage it can do. 67 health damage, armor penetration of 9. It's an absolute beast. For this reason, it's one of the harder swords that you're going to have to get. You've got to go through all of these frost giants to get through to the actual crafting station, and then you're going to need some decent resources to make it too. You are going to need 20 black ice and of course a hardened steel sword to make your black ice broadsword. Now with a little bit of dodging and luck you can pretty much run past a lot of these frost giants, head up to this second staircase and swing a left. That's where you're going to find the actual crafting station, but you do have to carry on going up the staircase to actually learn the recipe for black ice weapons. Following the stairway up you'll come to the altar room where you'll find the big boss frost giant. Behind him there is a tablet, that's where you're going to learn the recipe. There's also some loot as well, you might as well take it since you're here, but it isn't the best loot I would say. Keep looking for that tablet, there it is, learn it, and that's how you get the black ice items. You can see you learn a lot more than just the swords there, you can also make another sword as well, the long sword, as well as the picks and the black ice javelins. I didn't see much point in fighting them, I just wanted to show you guys the location, so run back down, run past all the giants, and obviously if you're coming down from there you need to take a right, that's where you're going to find the crafting station. It does have more frost giants in it, so you are likely going to have to take some of these out, although strangely enough the two there just ignored me and I only ended up taking out one or two of them before I could access the crafting station. Once the last one is dead, you can then go over to it and craft the black ice items, whatever tools or weapons that you want. Obviously we're looking at the sword today. And yes, I know it's called the frost smithy, but I just call them crafting benches. Remember, you do have to be level 60 to be able to craft this one. Before we move on to the last and final sword, I have got to mention some of the other ones that nearly made it. We've got things like El's Drinker, Dragonbone Swords, Drunkard's Blade, the Dueling Blade of the Hawk, and the Lust Taker, all fantastic swords that more or less do the same sort of damage or have lower armor penetration. I have chose some of these swords not just because of the damage, but because of that penetration is so much better than some of the others. It really is up to you though, what you prefer, what style you go for. Brute force with high damage, or really trying to get into the nitty gritty of going through their armor. I will also just point out lastly that the Dueling Blade of the Hawk gives you 5 agility, the Bane of Kostral Kell gives you 5 strength, and the White Blade gives you 5 vitality. All 3 of these blades can be found in just legendary chests all around the Exile lands, so if you do get hold of these 3, don't just throw them away because they've got less damage or less arm penetration. They are really great swords to have. But number 1 in terms of one-handed swords that you can get hold of in Conan Exiles is the Predatory Blade. This blade is absolutely a beast and you'll find it in defeating unnamed city bosses. 97 damage, armor penetration of 9, it's got durability of 1300. It is an absolute beast of a sword and without doubt the best sword in the game for one-handed. Pretty much all the other swords that I've mentioned can be repaired with normal resources or still some hard to get stuff or crafted again, but this one you're going to need a legendary repair kit to repair. Weirdest thing of all though is there is no heavy attack with this one. You'll do absolutely 0 damage by hitting the R2 or the RT button. You do need to just keep doing normal attacks. That's where you're going to be doing your damage. It won't do any sort of combo with the heavy attack button. No real idea why they've done that, but that's the way it is. No heavy attack or combos, I guess to limit it a little bit so it's not so overpowered. You can see here I'm wailing on the bat, literally doing loads of damage, and this is normally quite a hard or quite a high energy, high leveled enemy to take on. I tested for over an hour running around the unnamed city and I was unlucky enough not to get one drop, so I hope you have better luck than I do. Obviously I spawned this one in and you can see I'm taking lots of damage on my armour, but let me know if you've got any better methods or you definitely know of an enemy or particularly a boss in the unnamed city that drops this more regularly. Overall, the Bloodstone sword is a fantastic sword to get and it's probably one of the easiest once you've made your way all the way up to the Volcano. Some of these other swords are definitely going to take a lot longer, but they do offer more damage and that's the main thing when I think taking a look at some of these. So if you want the best swords in the game, go and try some of these out. Spawn them in for yourself on single player and test them and see if they're worth your time going and grabbing on official servers or private ones. I've done my best to show you where to get hold of these swords, or at least give you the big pointers. I really don't like seeing guides or tutorials unless it's going to show you exactly how to get the items. So let me know if I can improve on anything. No, pop in the comment section what you think about these swords and what you want me to cover next. I have in my mind I'll probably be taking a look at daggers, but also let me know what you'd like to see some top 5 or top 10s of. I am Jade, thanks a lot for watching. If you want to come and join my servers, go and join my Discord, ask for information in there, and I'll see you rat bags for another Conan Exiles guide very soon.